Motor Safety Association's presentation for the Commercial Vehicle Repairers Association of Saskatchewan's October 22nd, 2014 AGM meeting. On the agenda that we'll speak to are a bit of an introduction to the MSA and some of the services and programs that we offer. We'll do a review of some WCB stats and rates affecting your industry. Talk a little bit about the Mission Zero Charter event, as well as summary offense tickets. So the Motor Safety Association was established in 1997 with the goal to reduce workplace injuries. Our association is made up of the industry class C61 and C62 rate codes, and with that, how we're funded are through a portion of the premiums that you pay into WCB every year. So a portion of those premiums go to fund our safety association. We have a website on the screen, motorsafety.ca, as well as we're active on Twitter, so you can be able to check us out in one of those social media locations. Our vision is to achieve the safest possible working environment for all employees in our industry, and our mission statement is to reduce time loss injury frequency rates and durations through the building of effective relationships with employers, employer groups, government agencies through public awareness, education, training, and motivation of targeted employers. So by partnering with an industry association partner like the Commercial Vehicle Repairers Association of Saskatchewan, we are working to achieve our mission statement. With the Motor Safety Association, we are responsible for approximately 30,000 employees in Saskatchewan for their health and safety, which equates to about 13.6% of workers in Saskatchewan. And these would fall under, about 4,000 companies would fall under our banner at the Motor Safety Association. So a lot of these groups are any business that sells or services anything with a motor or steering wheel. That's a good way to calculate who would be in our safety association. We are a non-government association, as well as we're a non-profit group. We're not enforcement. We're not regulating any of the regulations. We will advise and help you understand and meet the regulations, but we aren't enforcing in you to abide by those regulations. We also utilize the WCB stats to give us information which helps us get out and target employers. With 4,000 different companies that we work with, it's hard for us to get to all of them. Last year we got out to about 1,000 companies. However, that being said, we go with a targeted approach to reach some of those companies that in fact are having the injuries or trending in the direction where they could be looking at surcharges and accumulating some costs. So some of the services that we provide, we work a lot with the claims management and trying to help companies return injured workers back to the job. Some of the other services, we do on-site inspections, ergonomic assessments, noise level testing, baseline audits, course certification, various workshops, and we can assist with toolbox talks with your business. With the toolbox talks, we can help you go out there, and we'll do a couple of them with you to get an understanding of how to do them. But we won't be out every week doing toolbox talks. Our goal is to show you how the toolbox talks work and get you started on doing it. So for the rest of those categories that I spoke of here, I'll speak to you a little bit more and give you some information about them, such as inspections. When we're invited to your business to do an inspection, what we do is we have a few different means of delivering that inspection. We can do a verbal inspection with you, so your business would have someone that would accompany us, and we would identify the safety concerns, and you would document those concerns and put them into a report. And actually, this is our preferred method, because what we're doing is we're training and showing some of the things that we're looking for, and this will help you conduct the inspection when we're gone in the future. So we try to offer that mentorship and be able to get you to conduct your own site inspections after we leave, but while we're there, we like to work with you to go through the inspection of your facility. Sometimes if that's not possible, we receive a facility tour, and then we would start to do our own documented inspection where we look for those infractions, and we would put them into a report and would get you a copy. So we would in fact document it. So there are some different places, different styles of doing the inspections, but I mentioned our goal is to have people trained in how to do inspections. On our website we have a link to an online inspection training by WorkSafe Saskatchewan. It costs $10 to take that inspection training course, and if you also take the $10 investigation training course, you would then have the level 2 safety committee training by taking both the inspection and investigation course. So there's a bit of information about how we work with conducting inspections at your facility. As mentioned before, the ergonomics is a big part of our business. We look at the ergonomics. They make up approximately 27% of all WCB claims within the industry, so it's an area that we need to take a close look at. And by doing so, we decided to roll out a 3-year ergonomic strategy, and one of the areas that we focused on is providing a half-day workshop. And this workshop, our goal was to empower as many companies as we could reach out to by attending these workshops and give them the basic knowledge of ergonomics. Our goal wasn't to make them ergonomists, but we wanted to give them an understanding of ergonomics and get them to take this action back to their workplace. We even found by something just as simple as inviting a company to an ergonomic workshop increased that company's awareness of ergonomics and gave them a better understanding. Sometimes people think of ergonomics as sitting at the computer workstation and keeping their elbows and knees at 90-degree angles. But ergonomics, in fact, is fitting that task to the worker. And in an industrial environment, this is something that needs to be taken a very close look at. And that's why we very much appreciate the opportunity to come in and conduct an on-site ergonomic assessment with you. So if you have some of those tougher jobs that could pose a back, shoulder, or hand injury, we would be very eager to come in and conduct an ergonomic assessment. Any of the services that we provide, starting with the inspections, moving through the presentation, we do not charge any more for those services, so feel free to utilize us. I have a couple pictures on the slide from our ergonomic half-day workshop that we do. One is a vehicle pusher. It allows you to push the vehicle within different bays in your dealership, which works good so people aren't, in fact, pushing the machine with their hands. And the other one that we offered is in our workshop where we provide information is the 6th wheel attachment. And this would go on a 5th wheel trailer, so instead of cranking it, you would replace the crank with this ratchet mechanism, so your back can stay straight, and you would move the crank up and down so that it would ratchet, opposed to cranking it around. So those are just some different ergonomic improvements that we discuss at the workshop. Why we need to take such a close look at the ergonomics are when we look at these numbers, but over the last 5 years, 27.5% of all WCB claims were related to ergonomics. That attributes to 48.1% of all costs and makes up 54.2% of all of the WCB days lost within our industry. So this is huge. It basically covers the lion's share of our days lost as well as our costs, and this can't be ignored. In the last 5 years, there was 74,500 days lost due to those ergonomic hand, back, and shoulder injuries. Our goal at the Motor Safety Association is to reduce those ergonomic claims. We're at 27.5%. At the beginning of 2014, we want to bring those down to 20% by 2016. So we do have a goal to work with the companies to address these ergonomic concerns and reduce those ergonomic claims and incidents from occurring. Another service that we provide is on-site noise level testing. If you haven't had your noise levels tested before, it's something that we can come in. We bring our noise level meter, and we would look at various pieces of equipment, various tools that you have, and we would generate a report that gives you the information. And we look at the noise levels, the exposure time, and that gives us a LEX value of how much time that person is exposed to that decibel level. And this helps you know what your personal protective equipment requirements are for hearing protection when it comes to noise levels. It is a regulation to have your noise level report posted in the workplace. And I personally believe that we may see OHS act on enforcement on this, because last year they sent a letter out indicating that you need to have your noise levels tested and to have a hearing conservation program in place. So I think they've basically preluded some information as to giving the employer information about the requirements for noise level testing, and in turn they're going to be looking at following up to see that they have it in place. So as mentioned, the hearing conservation program is something that businesses need to have in place as well. And we do have some sample hearing conservation programs that we can work with you to adapt to fit your workplace. So if you need something like that, you can let us know if you don't have something in place. The core program, which is Certificate of Recognition, is a program where businesses would meet a safety audit or a safety standard of excellence. And in the province of Saskatchewan, there are 5 groups that offer core certification, and the Motor Safety Association being one of them. And what we do when we core certify companies we have an MSA core audit tool that we utilize. So we go through the place of business and we're looking for documentation. We're doing an observation of the business, and we're conducting a sampling of interviews. And all of these categories attribute to a score. So one would need at least 80% overall to become core certified. And there are various categories that we look to, and you would need 80% in each of those categories. As we help companies prepare for core certification, a baseline audit is a good tool, because a baseline audit allows us to come in and look at your documentation as well as an observation of your business. And this kind of gives you a snapshot of where you're at. You may have adequate resources in place for inspections. You may have that area covered off, but emergency response may be weaker. So we identify those areas of strength or weakness, and it allows the employer or the business to look at making any necessary adjustments to meet that standard. And once again, we do offer our services to help businesses reach that milestone of becoming core certified. So once you're core certified, the next part of the process is maintaining that core certification. And the perception survey is a leading indicator tool that we utilize to engage employees' feedback. So how these surveys work are, if you're core certified, the following year you would need to complete the surveys, and the following year after that, surveys, and then the following year after that, a complete core audit. So your core audit certification is good for 3 years, and the perception surveys are used for maintenance. They would be similar to some places use an internal audit. We use a perception survey to maintain that certification. So what these do is it allows staff to be involved. So we're asking staff for their feedback, their perception of health and safety in the workplace in various categories that match our audit tool. And it allows us to take a look at this proactively. So we're not waiting for someone to be hurt. We're looking at what they have to say and looking at those results, and it's giving us a chance to act on them, opposed to an investigation that's reactive. This is allowing us to take a proactive approach to the results of the survey by looking to see where what areas are very strong and what areas may need improvement. Perception surveys are also used not only for core maintenance. Some businesses wonder, where do I start with my safety program? And this is a common question when it comes to health and safety. The Safety Perception Survey is a great starting point, and it allows you to go through this process, and the perception survey can help acknowledge where you are so you can chart the right course for your company. So keep that in mind if you're looking towards where do I start in getting my health and safety program started. What I found even more interesting was once these perception surveys are completed, we now have a benchmark. So if we completed them the last couple of years, we can see that has my perception went up or down in various business sections within this survey, and how's that look year over year? If I have multiple locations, what am I doing different from Estevan to Swift Current or Lloydminster? So between those categories or locations, why is one store scoring different than the other? And we all do the same work. So it allows us to kind of take a closer look internally to see what exactly is going on. And a perception survey is a good leading indicator tool to fulfill that. So some of the workshops that we provide are Occupational Health Committee Level 1 training for committee members. This is a one-day workshop that we offer to help people with their roles and duties on the Occupational Health Committee. We don't offer Level 2 training. As I mentioned earlier, Level 2 training is online. By completing an inspection and investigation course online, you would have the Level 2 training. We offer a half-day workshop on safety fundamentals for supervisors, and this allows supervisors, employers, and managers to give them a good understanding of what some of their safety responsibilities are within the workplace. So we'll speak to some of the responsibilities, some of the legislation. We'll speak a bit about inspections and investigations, job hazard analysis, and we go through that in a half a day as well. As mentioned, our ergonomic workshop was fairly new for us. That's a half-day program where we go through and talk about some of the risks of the back and shoulder and hand injuries. We look at some of those industrial improvements, some of those industry-specific devices, and to give people some of those tips and tricks of how we can minimize the potential of ergonomic injuries in the workplace. We do a half-day claims management workshop, and as you can see, we're doing one November 4th in Regina. And this half-day workshop gives tips and tricks on how can we better manage our WCB claims. What is the role of the injured worker, the doctor, the employer? Everyone has a role to play when it comes to a WCB claim. So we look at what each party has and what their roles are, and give people tips on how to minimize their claims costs. We also have a very full-day course on the safety management system, and this course helps you prepare and establish your safety program. And it is a one-day course that it will prepare you for core. It goes through each of the elements within our safety program and explains in detail of what we're looking for and how to achieve that. So that's the menu of workshops that we offer at the Motor Safety Association. If you are ever looking to register for any of these workshops, on our website we will have the online registration for all of these workshops, as well as the locations across the province and where we're having them. So once people have completed the workshops, we came up with a program called the Competent Safety Leader Designation. And this was a way of recognizing people for completing these courses. So we're not looking for them to initially complete our courses, they may have completed a course from OHS or WorkSafe Saskatchewan or from a different safety association. So if they have completed the courses that we require of them to become a competent safety leader, we would look at the ones that we've offered as well as through various other approved training agencies, and one would fill out the application we have on our website, and they could become a competent safety leader. Where we see the real value in this CSL program is, for example, if you're a business in Saskatchewan with multiple locations, we've usually found that the head office has got a real good handle on what's going on with health and safety, but maybe some of those other locations may not have someone on site who has that basic knowledge and that can be that safety champion per location. So we found the Competent Safety Leader program, it's a way of recognizing people, and it puts a safety champion in those other locations and gives them some opportunities to be recognized for the courses they have completed. One of our greatest strengths that we found through our association is our collaborative efforts with working with industry partners. Partners such as your association, the Commercial Vehicle Repairers Association of Saskatchewan, by reaching out to other industry partners, and in turn these partners, they promote our services back to their membership. It has been opening the doors for us and allowing us to offer the same services, but it's giving us some more recognition and some endorsement from your membership and some of the industry association partners. So we find that as a very critical part of the building relationships in promoting health and safety. We're actively partnered with Safe Saskatchewan, where we offer safety leadership breakfast meetings in Regina and Saskatoon, and we collaborate with Safe Saskatchewan, and we bring in various guest speakers or people with specific knowledge of a certain topic, and we pull these groups together, and it's a way of getting people together and collaborating and sharing our goals and seeing how we can work to achieve the goal of Mission Zero. Here's a poster that you could see we've worked with some of the other various safety associations to team up to promote a local business that's a member of the MSA, and by us standing strong as one in this effort of preventing injuries, it's quite important to show that strength. So we do appreciate the opportunity to work with your group and look very forward to more of the same in the future. And this here's a sample poster of a collaborative project with WorkSafe Saskatchewan as well. So we do enter into those partnerships and working together. We do have a youth initiative. We partner with the Saskatchewan Polytechnic, which formerly is known as SIAST. And in the last few years, we have worked with the program heads of the trades of the groups that will be coming to work in your industry. So we've worked with the parts program, the automotive service, the agriculture, the auto body, the heavy equipment, the small engine and motorsports. So all of the different trades offered by Sask Polytechnic, we've met with the program heads, and in turn they've invited us in to their classrooms, and we've been conducting a rights and responsibilities presentation. And we talk to the students about their rights and responsibilities, different things to look for in a safe workplace, different things to avoid, to ask if they're not sure what to do, give them a sample of a safety orientation, and we wrap it up by giving them 2 pairs of safety glasses as featured on this slide. And they would keep 1 pair, and they would pass another pair on to someone they care about. We found by getting right to the youth is going to make a huge difference in the long run by getting to speak with these groups, because we've been doing this now for about 5 years, and as we go into some of your shops, we may see some of the certificates that we've issued to the students at Sask Polytechnic. Or a student may come up to us and say, oh, I remember you presented this to me when I was in class. So it's really helping with the recognition and just a different approach to getting our information out there. So we'll talk a little bit about some of the industry stats within the industry, and I'm going to look at, for this slide, the actual days lost. And you can see from 2012 to 13 to 14, we've seen a decline. And this is quite positive for the days lost to a workplace injury. And what's also interesting is the results are actually better than what this slide indicates, because there has been growth in your industry. So even though we've seen these days lost come down, we've added more people. You have added more people into your industry. So even though we've added more people, we still managed to bring those days lost down. So that's very positive as well. We look at industry days lost per claim, also known as duration. So that's per claim, how long is somebody hurt, or how many days off are they gone per claim. So we did have a little increase in 2013, but we're happy to see that result coming down so far, and we're sitting at 21.8 days. And these are third quarter stats of looking at the previous year, so we're hopeful that this number will continue to move downward. When we look at the frequency, we're looking at the number of time loss claims divided by the number of employees. And as you can see, third quarter stats, the last 3 years, that we're seeing that industry frequency coming down from 1.6 to 1.3 to 1.2. So we're, again, looking to see that number move down in the future as it is going in the right direction. Part of body injured. So when we look at the industry as a whole, the last 5 years and the number of claims per part of body injured, we can see that the back is big, hand and leg, arm and shoulder. So we've taken the top 5. There are others, but we've just looked at the top 5 and have identified those on this slide. And as I mentioned earlier, these would fall under ergonomics. A lot of these sort of claims to the back, hand, shoulders, and legs. So we do see these as an area of opportunity which we try to control in the ergonomics. But if we're looking at this slide with the part of body, I'm going to toggle to the next slide, which is the cost. So when I look at that, look what those back and shoulder claims cost a place of business. They're not cheap. A lot of these claims are $20,000, $26,000, $29,000, and they attribute to a huge portion of the costs. Especially when I bring it back to the previous slide, you can see, especially the shoulder, there isn't as many claims, but the shoulder claim makes up the highest. So it's quite expensive. Those back and shoulder and leg claims, they really hit the top of the scale, and that's why we take that real hard look and approach to the ergonomics within the business. So that gives you a bit of a sampling of some of the stats as of the third quarter and some over the last 5 years within the industry. I will speak to you a little bit about the Mission Zero Health and Safety Leadership Charter event. In Saskatchewan, there are about 400 companies who have signed on to this Mission Zero Charter, and this has been going on for about 4 years now. And the stats have shown that companies that have signed this health and safety charter have been performing safer. So their injury rate is coming down, businesses that have become a Mission Zero Charter signatory. In order to become a Mission Zero Charter signatory, there's an event June 11th, 2015 in Saskatoon. If you want to learn more about that, feel free to contact myself and I will get you some information regarding that. There were some information as well I'll leave you with on summary offense tickets. And this is basically a system that LRWS has in place that they can offer on-the-spot ticketing. And what this does is it allows them to ticket. There are 12 offenses that they can issue a ticket for, and the tickets range from anywhere from $250 to $1,000. Those 12 ticketable offenses are some of the more common offenses that have had a history of non-compliance. So this program has started in July of 2014, so a few months ago, and it's currently underway in Saskatchewan. So just to keep that in mind as well, that the summary offense ticket is another tool that LRWS has in their toolbox as far as enforcement. So with that, that concludes my presentation for the Commercial Vehicle Repairers Association of Saskatchewan. Feel free to contact myself at any time. I have my email address on the slide, as well as our phone number and website and Twitter handle. So thank you very much for the opportunity, and if you do have any questions, please feel free to contact myself at any time. Thank you.